Share that last month wasn't a really great month for me. I wasn't very consistent. Life happens, but this month life continues to happen and I'm remaining consistent. So that's good. And it's just showing with, how I'm taking care of my clients consistently. They're staying around and, new ones are wanting to come on. And, it's a little over halfway through the month, but I'm projected to double my frontline volume this month and then some, hopefully. So I'm just really having a lot of fun, and I'm leaning into my girl Al and hip with her. So that's really been paying off.
Well done. Hey, can I ask you a question on that real quick before we pop in? So everyone has some life that happens, some more than others at different times. What's helping you stay consistent and not choosing to get off consistency when life's happening? How are you doing that? Because I think we all have that sometimes.
Just showing up every day. I've learned that, when you're putting something in your schedule, you show up and you do it. And if life does happen, it's not, okay, I'm going to skip this for the day. I need to still put in those hours. And, again, just sticking hip to hip with Allison, she's been doing this a lot longer than me, and just trusting in your team. So those are some of the main ones.
Keys to success, doubling your volume. Well done, Kate. It feels good to be consistent. It feels good to see the results.
It really does. It's the one thing I can rely on, right? In my life with consistency. So
well, hopefully your month gets better and then consistency grows. So all right, let's do one more real quick. We just hit 7 o'clock. Let's do one more. Who else is having a victory that they're putting into play that's been mind-blowing for them? Where are they at? Who wants to share it? Guys, I got so many messages. Don't make me go. Danae, you shared a powerful one with me. Where's Danae at? She juggling the kids? Someone else.
Brad.
One more. Go ahead.
This consistency, I'm here every single Saturday, no matter where I am, in Vegas or wherever, and leaning into my coach and support team, I can honestly tell you, has just been a game changer. And everything that you guys say to do, I do. And I am seeing people, they're watching and they're reaching out to me. They're watching, like you said, and you just do like you said, and I just do what you guys say, and it was working. So thank you, guys.
Did you think it would work when you started? Because I've been watching. You even asked questions about how to do story last night. You were going back and forth with Ashley about how to do Facebook story.
I still need to learn that. I love it. I think it's really effective when people, I think it's really cool. Not that Facebook isn't, but that you could go in and see people's little things, and I have to learn still. I'm practicing. Yep. So thanks you guys for that.
And I see you. You're having a ton of fun out there on social media. Well done, Suzanne. Keep it up. All right, let's jump in today. It's 7:02. Let's get going. I have to set up my PowerPoint here. Hold on, let me make sure I got the right slide. Can you guys all see my screen? Does it all look good? Jen, you're on my screen. Can you give me a thumbs up if it's on there? I shouldn't trust you. The other week you told me I was on, and that was Denise had to correct me. All right, does it all look good? Does it all go on there? All right. Let's jump into today. Everyone good? Because you guys are being consistent, and this gets to be a really fun time. We're in week number 4 of Coffee and Consistency in February, and this week we're covering the difference-making follow-up. April's going to cover that. Hold on. Got to mute. Christy, I got your back on muting you. Good to hear from you. Unmuted yourself. I got your back. Difference-making follow-up, supporting and integrating clients in their first month, layering and awakening and approaching coaching, and how to look at your business mid-month like a pro and why it's so important. It's going to blow your mind. So 3 main topics. And the reason why we're covering this one today, I just want to point out again, it was when we did a poll at the start of this, we had 2 runaway top questions that everyone wanted to answer. I think it's all the ones we all want to know what to answer. And we're going to bring some really good information on it today. So I hope you guys got your notepad. Is how to awaken clients. Allison's going to drop some knowledge bombs on you today. Maybe she'll say the word y'all a few times. I don't know. We'll see. And 2, how to awaken coaching. It's relationships, so it's not like a checkoff list, but there are some things that if we put this into systems of flow that you guys already have working, because we're going into our 4th week, you have built the foundation to do what we're about to show you today. Can I get a 1 in the chat if I can be bold, unplug, and bring some like just information on what to do today? You guys down? Let me check. I don't want to just proceed without it. You guys are probably saying, no, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay, wait. All right, there's about 1 million ones in the chat, so I'm going to keep going. So, all right, let's go. All right, take a sip of coffee, grab your notepad. Let's rock and roll. Let's see here. This slide is more important than any other time today because I think we all feel like the squiggly line happens. Everyone thinks perfection is just like, they're all like, oh, Kaylee, oh, man, you're so consistent. Like, how'd you double your business so easy? No. But it is fun to stay consistent and learn and make it simpler along the way. It will be like the far right line if you pay attention to what we're doing here today. There's also something else I want to address today because you guys have been super, super consistent. 2 reasons I know this, which I want to point out are really cool. There's a lot less of you commenting in the support page. And you know why that is? I'm actually really happy about it. It's because you guys are being so intentional with your connections that my posts in the support page are lower on your algorithms. Do you guys understand that? That's way cool because you are being intentional with the people you're dripping on. Those are the people that are showing up in your newsfeed more. Just want to say congratulations, you're doing a great job of that. The other thing is, guaranteed you've gotten your first person making comments to you. Drop me a 1 in the chat if anyone's ever said a stupid comment to you or said something that you were like, are you serious? Like, the kind of maybe made you step back for a second. Yeah, I've got some 1s. Congratulations. You earned your health coaching certificate. Like, seriously, I just want to point that out to you. So when you're out there sharing, inspiring, and moving forward, you're going to get someone that says something. Don't listen to that 1 person or 2 people. I remember ours. Ashley and I talked about it vividly this last week because we knew this topic was coming up. It was one of our good friends, and it was really odd because she's a generally very supportive friend. And you know what's funny about that? She made a comment, and luckily my wife's bold enough to not let it affect her. And she went on to help her mother lose 70 pounds and her sister lose 70 pounds. So, you know, she says it differently now. So I just want to encourage you guys, past everything else, past the consistency. Can I get a 2 in the chat if you ever move forward past someone saying that to you and you had breakthrough afterwards? Yeah, 2s. All right, cool. All right, I just want to get past that topic because you're sharing, because you're doing so well, you probably got your first 1. Congratulations. Don't listen to them. Focus on the people you're helping. You know what's changed in your life. Keep it going. So we're going to jump into today. Other things here today. You guys got your map? Kaylee, you're on my screen. Christy, you're on my screen. Let's see. You guys got it? Rock on. All right, cool. We're going to use this today. You guys got your connections list? We're going to be looking at that today. And a notepad, because this is going to be giving you some really key things to do on awakening your clients that you might not already be doing. And here's a heads up. If you don't have your schedule in place, this is my like forewarning, today's going to seem like a crap ton of work. And I'm sorry for saying crap, but like it's going to feel a lot. If you do have your schedule set up, you're going to be like, I hope this is going to be like a plot twist, like, you know, 5th or 6th sense ending where you're like, oh my gosh, that's so simple. Like Annie, we broke this down with you just personally the other day and you were saying how great it was. So I just want to make sure we got those things in there, like your daily connection time, the days that work well for you to do calls, your check-in day, follow-up. It's a rock in your schedule, right? Like just to make sure that we're not going to make anyone confused, can I get a 3 in the chat if your schedule's decently formed up? Oh, awesome. This day is going to be easy. Okay. This day, we've laid the foundation. Today is where we kind of tie it all together. So like we've already covered, awakening clients and awakening coaches starts way before you ever talk to them. You know, we talked about social media, being intentional, what we're branding, all the way to last week, like, didn't Ashley do a great job of talking about how to set up a first call and like how to talk to clients and go through the health assessment? I thought it was truly amazing. So today we're going to build on that. But first, because we went into so much depth on it, I want to bring on April Karen to share some tips on how to follow up. So last week we covered everything to starting your client on program. But what if they need to think about it or just follow up in general? I think one of the other top questions was, how do you follow up? And then the next follow-up question to that we always get is like, well, what does it look like? Like, what do you actually do? Like, what are the things that work best? So April, I'm going to share this with you. I had permission to share this. In 2016 of September, she was a 6,000er ED. I think that was one of your best months there, April, like, because you weren't at 6,001. And we sat down and talked to you and got your structures set up. We got a follow-up day in the schedule and a check-in day. And there was multiple things you did, but I would say follow-up is something that you greatly increased. And I want you to watch this just a few months later. She went up to 8,000, then 8,000, then 10,000, then 12,000, then 16,000 in frontline volume. Not magic, you guys. And none of this happened overnight. It was a month by month. But watch this. It not only went up to this, but that set her up for integrated executive director a few months later. Follow-up is the magic key. So you guys are, so I want to make sure I make this really clear. You guys are leading with your health. You guys are being uber consistent, just like you guys are all seeing. Kaylee, you talked about it. Suzanne, you talked about it. I know so many more of you guys talked about it last week. Your people are coming in to your world. The extra things you do are the difference maker. So now that I've totally teed you up, April, will you come on here and share two things? One, what do you do for follow-up after a call? And two, what do you do for follow-up in general for your follow-up day? Come on out here and share what you got.
Okay, thanks, Brad. First of all, I'd just like to say, I love what Suzanne said earlier. It's absolutely, people say this all the time, but it's really the truth. You know, if you lean into your mentorship, and, you know, that's what I did. I listened to what Lori and Brad told me to do, and I did it. And really, I wish I could say, okay, the end, go away. Because that is so true. Lean into your mentorship. If you do what they tell you to do, they've gone down the path. So reinventing the wheel is not going to help you or anybody else. So basically what I do is if I have someone who has, I've talked to, and they're not saying yes yet, then my next steps are that, first of all, I just make sure that we're already Facebook friends during that call. I make sure that I get their email and that I get their permission to send them a follow-up email. And that follow-up email is going to be included, you know, thanking them for taking their time, and then also grabbing something out of Simple Systems, a video out of Simple Systems that's going to apply to them. Sometimes a before and after picture that applies to them. I'll send them that also. And in that phone call, before we get off the phone, I'll set up a follow-up date to, you know, make sure that we can reconnect after they've had time to look at that email. So I also don't make it more than like a day or two later, because you don't want to let too much time go by. Then if I've been using a newsletter for a long time, so I go ahead and I just add them to my newsletter with their permission. And anyway, so that's basically what I do if someone has not said yes yet. But then I also use my map as a tool. I don't use it as a to-do, I use it as a tool. So if they already aren't on my top 10 candidate list, then I put them in there, because obviously it's just going to be a short period of time before they become a client. I also make sure, obviously they're probably already on my 100s list anyway, but just in case, you know, I make sure that they're there. And then what I do is I have Friday follow-up. Now you can make it any day, whatever, but I'm telling you, this was something that was really key. That was a game changer for me. I resisted for a long time what Lori and Brad were telling me to do because I was too busy. I had 3 jobs. I worked 60 to 70 hours a week. I mean, those are true things. It's like, I just tried to fit in wherever I could, calling people back or even doing client support or anything, just like wherever I could. Well, what they finally got through to my head was that if I set up a focused time to do 2 things, client support and follow-up of pre-clients. You know, I'm going to call it Friday follow-up. Doesn't matter when it is, but focused time, then that actually what it ended up doing was it ended up freeing up time because I wasn't all over the place. So that is really what the game changer was for me, was to get that going. So also I would like to refer back with the client follow-up. The thing that I didn't have in my arsenal at the time, but you guys all have it right now. Brad put up a post this week that Dan Newman and Lori Dufresne did about how he does client support and what switched for him. And if you haven't already watched it, watch it. It's not very long. It's worth it. So that's the other thing I do is I go back and I look at these trainings. My gosh, it's gold. I mean, it's just sitting there. So anyway, with the client follow-up, what I do is the basic stuff that is at our fingertips. So I go to Simple Systems, I pull the daily texts, and from the time they say yes, I am sending them the things that are the 4 things before you even do the daily text. And then I'm doing the 8 daily texts. The 4 days that they get on program, I'm calling them every day. And anyway, so I'm following up like that, just the way that our systems are set up. The other thing that I'm doing is for the Friday follow-up, I am making sure that I actually physically pick up the phone, but with both client support and with Friday follow-up. You can't do everything through text and email. Well, you can, but you're not going to be very effective. So when people hear your voice, they hear your passion. They hear that you care about them. They don't hear that when you're sending a text or, whatever. And texts are great, but you've got to have the voice connection. It's so key. And I tried to hide behind the text for a while. Didn't work. So anyway, so there's that. I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I'm missing. Just basically, you guys, this is the 17th of the month. It's the perfect time to reassess where you're at, to take a look at your map. It allows you to create a priority list to see, okay, my gosh, it's halfway through the month. I can do wonders between now and the end of the month. And so, what I just like to end with is to say, if you aren't already doing this, if you don't already have this stuff in your calendar, like I actually put all of this stuff in my calendar. So if I tell somebody that I'm going to call them back in 2 days, it is in my calendar so that I don't forget that I'm going to do it. If you don't already have this in place, if you turn to structure now, it allows you to be flexible and meet people where they're at. So I don't want to mislead you. If I have Friday follow-up and then I talk to somebody on Saturday and they say, oh, I'm interested, I don't wait till the next Friday to call them. I call them right away. But because I set up this structure, I have the time and I have the flexibility to do that. So that's what I've got, and I hope that was helpful.
Yes, I think it was. You had a lot of people sharing in the chat. April, so good. So I love what you shared there. Like, you didn't have time for follow-up before, but you made the time, and it was the game changer. One thing you shared with me before, this might be helpful for new people, is that there's a way that you guys have probably heard the term power hour, and that's the best way to approach follow-up. You turn off all the distractions, you set yourself down, and you focus. Another benefit is your map guides you where to go. All of your follow-up should be based off of that. That's when you'll catch up on your second connections with your clients, different things like that. It is the game changer. Plus, catch this one right now, because we'll get into this a little bit later, but referrals really create coaches. So how diligently you're pursuing every aspect of your business, even referrals, this is going to be a multiplier on your business. So April, it's no wonder you're doing so well. You made a simple tweak, and I love your encouragement for everyone to do the same. I love the reminder of the personal touch, all the way back to what you were talking about, how you follow up, either a video, you send a before and after picture possibly that could awaken them. And here's one thing that you're going to hear a lot about today. You gave clarity on how the next steps are going to go. I want you guys to hear what I say on that, because clarity and guidance, like Ashley talked about last week, is the game changer, which leads me to our next subject, which Allison is going to be sharing on. So Allison, you ready to rock?
Ready, Freddie.
All right, let me bring up the slides. Allison and I are going to go through a few things here. And all right, guys, I want to slow down a little bit because I don't want to miss anything on this. This was the #1 topic that everyone requested. And it's built off of everything we've done. We've set the stage for this topic. I can't stress this enough. All the way back to what April just shared. This is where it comes from, because integrated clients and coaches come from what you model. And systems like that help you be at your best. So there's one thing I want to share with you before we get started here. And that is check out your map. Actually, I'm going to stop share real quick before I get over to Allison. Where's my, am I on speaker view? Can you see me? Al, am I on speaker view?
You're on gallery view.
I'm on speaker view on my computer. So all I see is you though. Weird.
Oh, scary.
I know, but I'll show you this because you can change it to speaker view if you want so you can see this more clearly. But here is the map and we're gonna go over this a little bit more. But there's a big section that's right here in the middle. And this step 1 is where most of you guys are missing the steps, is focusing on the matches for people and what you're gaining from them by truly finding out what they want and spending the time in the health assessment. Taking a step back to really look at what you're offering and what their matches might be, because it's not just income. It might be accountability. It might be, I mean, there's multiple reasons. I'm not going to go into them today because I want to make sure we get this call done on time. But right here, that's the game changer right here. That's where you're assessing the match. And just like Follow Up Friday, where you're assessing your map where it is, you're going to move these relationships forward because you can't rush a relationship. Giving someone a coaching is like asking someone to marry you on the first date. It happens from time to time, but like, you know what? It ain't going to work out probably if you do that. So I set that all up to say is that, did you guys know, and like really know, that there is a coach in every 5 clients you bring on? And I know I'm pausing because I know some of you are like, there is not, Brad, whatever, you're so full of it. I don't mean from the second they start, but I mean really the potential, the match, if you guide them, awaken them, do what Allison's about to share with you. It's not going to happen right away, and some of them will happen right away, but we're going to show you how to do it quicker and how to qualify and how to see better that results. Because I'm going to tell you guys, a lot of you guys are getting darn good at your client acquisition and support. You guys are integrating clients really well. Your sponsoring is a little lopsided. Like I know just give you guys a heads up. It's all good. We're all learning here. And you know what? Mine's not perfect either, but I just wanted to share that mindset with you because when your mindset's set, you can take that to the next level. So that brings us to Allison. Allison, you ready to share some stuff on integrating clients?
Ready. All
right, Al, so we've talked a little bit about this. Let me share my screen here. And we've talked, wait, where's the slide here? Make sure I share the right one. All right, there we go. Awakening clients. There's so many things that you do, and you're just going to share those things as we go through today. Just drop those little knowledge bombs of like slightly placed things, right guiding, changes the whole trajectory about this. So tell us your mindset, because at one time you kind of like gritted your way to ED, and then you kind of started to have fun and take this into effect, and now you run high frontline volume, you got little kids who pull it out, you sponsor well. So you do it, and then you all of a sudden decide to move last minute too, and I don't know how you do it all, but you do these steps well. So teach us your stuff here today on awakening clients.
I will. Hey y'all, good morning. So I just want to set you up with saying something that if you guys were at the training in Phoenix, but that competency creates passion. And Becca Tenter said that, and it's just something that I have it written on all my dry erase boards in my office now. And it's so true. If we can figure out the schedule is what's going to complete your competency, which leads to passion. And so anyway, if you don't have a schedule set up, it's the #1 thing to start first. So drop a 1 in the chat. Like, for real, be honest, y'all. Do you have a real schedule? Do you have a real schedule? Do you show up for yourself? Because I would say that, like, in my business, what has changed for me is it's really, really, really easy to write some stuff down. But the truth is do you show up? I don't always show up for myself, and I'm working on that. So anyway, be super honest with yourself and get your schedule done. When you have your schedule done, you can help a lot of people. I can't hear you, Brad.
I said, sorry, it wasn't clicking over. So there you go. Love it.
Right. So what happens when you've got your schedule in is that this system that we have, it truly is done for you. And so what I mean by that, again, competency creates passion. So if we can really bring our clients in and show them and build that trust in the first month by following these simple steps, what I've learned is that they want to become a health coach and they want to help other people. So full transparency, I just got off of an amazing trip with a bunch of amazing women in Maui, a bunch of leaders in Altavia. And what I learned there was that so many of these women, it's just a matter of fact for them. They're following the schedule, they're following the system, and they know 100%, well, that's gonna happen because just do the steps and it's going to happen. And I think in the past, that hasn't really connected for me. I haven't believed it. So believe it, get your schedule done and follow the steps and watch it happen. So Brad, let me move. I've got everybody's cute faces on top of this. So recapping last week, Ashley went over this beautifully. If you guys missed last week, go back and watch it, watch the recording. And Brad, what am I missing here? What would you like me to go over?
Basically, we do all the same stuff each time. And Allison, you do like every single time, it's the basics. Optavia sends them the welcome email, order that variety pack 98% of the time. Welcome one exclamation point with a capital W is the password. Trust, like that way you can always know what their password is, what this email says. Add them to your support page with a personalized message. We're going to kind of go over that in a little bit. Send them the welcome text. Put that health assessment right on top of your binder. That's how you rock it. That's a system right there. But Allison, you do all these things. You do all these things. Tell us a little bit about your mindset, that very top bullet point that you told me about, bringing it to the thing you do on that call that really makes all the difference in setting up your support. You said that you told me that it's all about being real and being clear.
Totally. So I think that something that I have started focusing on a lot is letting people know what the support piece looks like and what it's going to look like in the first month. Because honestly, you guys, people don't know what a health coach does. A lot of people think we have to be local. They think that we're going to be the person that hits food out of their hand. We know we don't do that. I'm in Idaho. The bulk of my clients are in South Carolina. So I let them know, look, this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to coach you into a really strong fat burn. We're going to talk every day for the first week. But seriously, it's going to be for 2 minutes. So don't feel like you can't answer the phone. It's going to be for 2 minutes, super short and sweet. My role is to get you feeling comfortable as fast as possible. And the best way for me to do that is for you to answer the phone. When you answer the phone, we're going to go through a couple quick things. I'm going to get you started well. I'm going to send you some support. A lot of these text messages, guess what? I didn't write them. I don't have to write them, but the embedded information is super duper important. So I'm going to send those to you, watch the videos, and then let's get you feeling comfortable as quick as possible. After that time, I'm going to call you about once a week. So I let people know I didn't write the daily text, because doesn't it feel weird when you send that and it's all trademarked and it's obvious we didn't write them? So, hey, I'm going to be transparent. The other thing I'm doing is I'm hey, look, you guys, I don't have to be perfect, and you can do this too, because guess what? Everything's sort of cookie cutter.
Yeah, see that? Genius, girl, right there.
Yeah, more people want to coach when they know that. I think the first few years of this, I hid behind my science background. I'm a microbiologist. I was. And I'm kind of proud of that. And so I really like to focus a lot on how nerdy and smart I am. Does not serve me well at all. So now I'm so much more humble and goofy and weird. And man, more people want to join us when we're honest. I didn't write it. And guess what? I got notes right here to talk to y'all today, because perfection stifles growth, and I don't want to be perfect.
I love it. So let's talk about setting up those texts with everyone, because here's the thing. You guys might be using them. You might not. You might be kind of iffy on it. It doesn't matter. Either way, you guys are you're doing enough support, but we want to show you the layout of it so you can feel confident and work it into your schedule. So It's in the texts are in the Optavia or in the Simple Systems, which is a document in the support page. If you're a newer coach, reference that with your support team. It's got every document you would ever probably need in one place. It's a little bit big when you go in there for the first time, but you can grab the text, and that's where all these texts are coming from that Allison they're talking about here. So I already kind of covered that. But hey, Allison, this really lays the foundation for them getting started in the beginning. How much do you notice since you started implementing this that this makes a big difference?
It's night and day difference. And I'm not going to lie to you. I struggled with this in the beginning, like following the system and following the text. One, not because I wanted to reinvent the wheel, but I didn't want to send these text messages that I clearly didn't write. And the thing is why would I want to spend more time rebuilding something? So now what's serving me and my business is saying, you know what? I didn't write these, but they're awesome. And they have a lot of great information in them. And so I'm going to send them to you. The main thing is do all y'all know where to find them? Does everyone know how to find Simple Systems? Because without the calendar, without your calendar that you're showing up for and clocking in, and without being able to find these in Simple Systems, it's really hard to be good at what we do. So one in the chat, everybody know where to find them? And if you don't, does everyone know who their mentor or business coach is? Please ask them. There's ain't no shame, y'all, in asking questions. So please ask. The other thing is sometimes I've seen floating around, people are copy and pasting from old threads, and it's like the Take Shape for Life ones. So try to clean that up so that you're bringing in the Optavia ones so that everything's real and the same for everybody. Did I do all right there, Brad? Anything else to add?
The key is on this one, because a lot of people are like, oh man, do the daily text. And actually, Ashley, can you pull yourself off mute? I want you to add something to this section real quick. But if you have your 15 to 30 minutes of connection time built into your schedule, not, random, like how April was talking about, just do it during that time. You're already making connections. Figure out what day people are on. I think Ashley's tip last week was add it to your calendar when you're doing it. So you just check your calendar the same way you're making your connections, fire off those bad boys really easily. And that's just, it's already built in your time. So also sending these texts better integrate your clients, but it's also encouraging you to stay consistent on your connections. So it's like, you see how one washes the other. Ashley, you recently started doing this, like, because you were saying, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it well. So that's the Ashley Miller way. What have you seen that's the difference maker with you putting in the daily text?
I get a higher rate of communication up front, and I get way more engagement before the shipment arrives. Because I too, like what April and Allison were saying, not only do we do the 8 days, there's like 4 or so that get covered. They cover the components early on, even before their stuff starts. So I was thinking the same thing where I was like, this doesn't sound like stuff I would write. And I was like, all right, fine. I'm not going to change it. I'm just going to send it as it is. Whether the person thinks it's me or not, I don't even care. I'm just going to send it the way it is. And they don't really care. Like it doesn't faze them. I don't know. But they do engage a lot more. And what I'm finding is instead of me trying to remember, oh my gosh, their food, like when is so-and-so's food coming? Oh, I need to remind them to get their measurements and start with this and get a food scale. It's done. I don't got to worry about it. And they're actually doing way more consistently than if I just did it onesie Tuesday here and there when I could remember. I would not be getting the results I'm getting, and they wouldn't either. So way more engagement. So also coaching's coming up extremely fast.
Yeah, and you said something to me a couple weeks ago. You were like, I'm just following the layout, and it's leading me to it's like leading them to coaching, which we're going to cover here in a few minutes on this. So like, you just follow the layout. It's covering all the integration pieces, and it's moving them forward on that. That's what you see from buckling down and just getting that done. Did it feel like extra time when you just decided to do it in the morning during your connection time? Because you have a
well, that's why I didn't do it for so long. And then one of my best friends was doing it, and I was like, seriously? And she's like, yeah, I just do what they tell me to do. And I was like, all right, fine. I was like, I'll try it. I'll test it. I'm either going to prove it sucks or I'm going to prove it works. And I got like in 3 or 4 days in, I texted her and I was like, dude, these are working. You were right. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. It just works. And I was like, okay, all right. I'm not going to resist it. I'm going to do it. And it's working. And it doesn't take any more time. It takes so much less time. I thought it was another commitment. And I was like, I don't got time for more commitments. I'm just going to do what I've done for 10 years. And I was like, oh, this actually works a lot better and it's less time.
Because to Allison's point, it lays out one step at a time. And we're going to go over these texts here in a second. So Allison, you want to pick back up on that?
Yeah, I just want to totally echo what Ashley said. Definitely was, I struggled with it not being my voice, but I just owned it and moving forward with it. And I think it's true that when people see that we're not perfect human beings, then they want to do what we're doing. It also integrates our clients so much quicker. I wanted to, if I can, Brad, I just wanted to share a little tip what I do. My calendar at the bottom here, these are people's names who are starting, like, I don't know, as soon as they order, I write in here, like, night before, start, delivered, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And as soon as they order, I write it out on my calendar so that when I do my 3, 3, and 3 in the morning, that's just combined in it and it's done for the day. I mean, I'm sure we've all had those days towards the end of the day where you're like, oh my God, Susie started, she's on, what day is she on? I don't remember if I sent her text. So I'm getting that done first thing. And that's really serving my business well.
Perfect. I just want to answer a few questions in the chat here because this is like, I love that we cover this topic because we're already getting the questions, like the clarity questions. So Tracy, we don't sign them up for virtual videos anymore. What they did is they integrate, like they made our life so simple. They integrated brand new, clearer, shorter videos, Optavia videos into these texts, which I'm going to show you here in a second. So great question. You don't have to sign up your people for any more emails anymore. You just send the text. So can there be anything after 2 weeks? I'm sure there could be, but you know what? Allison's going to show you after you do this for 8 days and you get them into a support routine, you've taught them how to fish. And you have an integrated client. The work done up front creates you a really awakened client. So Allison, easy tips for these daily texts is save it to your home screen of your phone. Like I got mine right here on my home screen when I look at my phone. Some of you guys are cool and you have computers that are Apple and phones that are Apples. Allison's working on that. I just save it to my home page and I text from my computer. It's so easy. I fired off a day 4 text before I started this call. I got to mute some real quick. And then Allison, you can also set up text shortcuts on your phone. I will post a video on how to do that. But if you want to be really cool like Ashley Miller, I think Susan LaBelle does this too. You just type in like D4 into your phone and it'll just populate the full text. So you can set that up ahead of time. These are just cool ways that you can make it simple on yourself to send these texts. So,
right. Real quick, yes, they are sending the welcome emails. That to confirm the question, does the company send welcome emails? Yes, they do.
This is so good. These are such good questions. Like that's why we want to cover this so you guys have the clarity. Optavia sends the email. We send the text for the first 8 days and get into the rhythm of support. Everything is simple after that. So Allison, this is the text we send after they say yes. No, I got to do someone real quick. Someone. Got it. There we go. Wait, one more. Angela, you were off mute. I got your back though. So back to where we were at in the schedule, where we were talking there. So Allison, come back on here and just share a little bit about what you've seen with this because you just gave us the clearest step. When Allison just shared what she talked about, how she sets up her client support and what it's going to look like, didn't you feel clear on it? Like, didn't you be like, I can get on board with that? It's when we don't lay out the next step is when we don't get those phone calls. It's like, 'cause we never told them how it was going to go. So you started them, you send the text after they've said yes. Go from here.
Right. So they say yes. I send the before or right after their program orders text. And honestly, I send the cookie cutter text and then I either will call them for a quick sec or I'll send a message. What I want to do with this message is to get them integrated into our support page. And so I'm going to ask them to post in there. And so what I'm doing is each day you'll notice as we go through the texts, I'm trying to get clients more and more comfortable with sharing and posting so that when we get to day 7 or 8, I'll tell you another thing that.
Here, Allison, let me set you this up with you. And I'm sorry, I set you up with the wrong slide here. So what I'm going back to here, and I'll just cover the text here. That'll make it simple so you can just talk about how you rock the support. Mm-hmm. After they say yes, we talked about that before. Put their order in, welcome them to the Facebook page, grab the new client, like they said yes text, and just fire it off. It's like simpler than what we used to do when we sent the welcome email. This is so key, and Allison, I know you're big on this. It layers full program. It relayers the steps if you missed anything. Like it says, I'm going to be your health coach on this process. It lets them know to be diving into all the 3 components that make the difference in lifelong transformation. And it encourages them and lets them know you're going to add them to the Facebook group.
Right.
This is the second text. You send it on the second day or third, or maybe you forget. I would really encourage you guys not to worry about being perfect, but if you practice this and put it into your schedule, I haven't been missing it. And I'm a person that misses a lot of details, if you guys haven't noticed. Second message, this introduces them to Dr. A. It's so huge for them to know the person that started this program. And it's also got the well-being assessment and Dr. A's ebook. I'd say not majority of my clients even get into that, but it's helpful, and I'm putting it in front of them, which is key. And I'm being in strong communication with them while they're waiting for their order to arrive. Another big facet of integrating clients. Then a third one, you guys want to know about bringing it on coaches, right? Like I think I remember that was one of the questions. Maybe it was, I can't remember. It's all like Allison, we talked about it. If you set it up ahead of time, it's way more likely to happen. This text gently opens up community and like-minded people and who else might need this. It's not saying who are you going to sign up on program. It's opening the door for you. That's going to let them start thinking that way. And it's really layering how important community is. Because in case you're like me, it takes about like 9 times for me to hear something. So it's gently putting it in front of them a bunch of times. And then lastly, great news, your program arrives on this day. It's just encouraging them to pick a start date and what's important to grab before they get started. Does anyone feel like super at ease now that you don't have to try to remember all these things? It's all in the text. And then you can actually check the text because you see them every single day. So these are super key. This is all why they're waiting. So that brings us to the Journey Kickoff call. They've said, great, my order arrives. Hey, and you've been in contact with them. Allison, I'm going to be starting on Sunday morning. What's going on? Talk to me. You let them know that you're going to talk with them the night before and what's important to cover on that first night call.
Yeah, so first I wanted to say I see a bunch of people in the chat saying they're a little confused about this. Y'all, this is all in Simple Systems under client support. It's just it is kind of like a checklist. So ask your support team, and this is all taken cut and paste from there. But basically the night before the Journey Kickoff call, I mean, have any of you guys had anyone start program before you've talked to them? I mean, I think we've all gotten that message, right? So something that I'm really working on, one, is sending these before program arrive text. It's really starting to build trust so that they know, oh my gosh, my program came, I need to talk to my coach. Whereas in the past, when I wasn't sending them, sometimes people were starting and like by day 3, they're like, yeah, I feel great. Thanks, coach. No, no. So follow the system. And the night before call, the Journey Kickoff call, I set this up in advance and let them know, look, we're going to spend a little bit of time. I send the video that's in the text message. When we get on the phone, it's like, hey, Susie, did you have a chance to watch that video? If they say yes, right on, we keep moving forward. If they say no, I say, you know what, let's hop off for a quick sec. Go ahead and watch that video, and then let's hop back on. Is that okay? And so I want them to watch that because what I do with the Journey Kickoff call is I really focus on the 4 components. And I know you guys know that: nutrition, community, support, and education. The video and the guide basically talk about the nutrition. And so what I want to do as the coach is really focus strongly on the other 3 things: the support, the community, and the education. And so that's what I do, is spend a little bit of time saying, hey, just want to remind you, 25% of what you're doing is the nutrition, but the other 75% is really going to build a base and build your foundation so that you have lifelong health. Would you know, are you ready to do that? And I think it continues to solidify that. Also in the Journey Kickoff call, what I'm going to do is, again, reiterate, this is what it's going to look like for us in the first week. I'm going to connect with you every day, but seriously, just for a couple minutes, just until you're in fat burn. And then once you're in fat burn, we scale that back a little bit to about twice a week.
Perfect.
Did I cover that, Brad?
This is perfect. And I want to just check off the chat real quick here, because that's why I preface this ahead of time, is if you're not using these texts yet, don't sweat it. Allison's covering the key things. We've talked about the share call. We've talked about setting up their journey kickoff call. These texts are just pre-done that you can send the morning of to them to layer their journey. Because the question everyone was asking was, how can I sponsor people and awaken them more? These texts are a tool. So to anyone that was saying like, hey, I'm not used to this yet, just start practicing them. If you're already doing the cornerstones of calling on the night before and supporting your clients for the first 4 days and moving them into a check-in, that is a goal. These texts will lay out the rest of them throughout this process. And like Allison just said, the night before text will change the call, because now you're going to focus on the relationship and the other three components, and the call is going to take care of the details for you. Does that seem simple? Seems like everyone else is saying yes. Okay, this is good. All right, cool. No, you hit everything in there. So so you've done that call. We move it into connecting on the first 4 days.
Right. So in the first 4 days, honestly, I'm just copying and pasting and sending the text. I'm building trust right here, because the days before we're building trust, but days 1 through 4, what I'm gonna do, you guys, is I'm gonna send the text. We're gonna make a phone date to talk, and try as much as you can to keep the call short and sweet. And what I do on day 1 through 4 is it's just a quick systems check, and I let them know that. Are you drinking all your water? What's for dinner tonight? How are you feeling? What questions do you have? And then the other thing I'm doing that I'm finding that's serving my business well is in the first day, sometimes I'll be like, what's for dinner tonight? And they're like, well, I don't know. So I get to assist with that. I get to learn if cooking's a struggle. But the other thing is I'm like, ooh, that sounds awesome. Will you take a picture of it and post it in our Supporting Your Health page, our what's it called? Support page. And so I'm asking them to put that in there and to tag me. And so what I'm trying to do is to get them really comfortable with sharing. So I'm kind of feeling that out. And then day 2, same thing, super simple systems check. I'm in and I'm out. I'm building trust. I'm doing what I said I was gonna do. And then again, I'm gonna say, ooh, what are you learning? Or I'd love to give you a tip, and offer them a tip for drinking more water or whatever. And then if they have a specific struggle, I might say, you know what, that's a great question for our support page. Maybe post that in there and see what the other coaches and the other clients say. And I'm finding again that I'm drawing people back to that page, y'all, and they're seeing, oh my God, my coach doesn't have to know everything. I don't have to know everything. And this is fun because all these people are cheering me on and I'm making friends. So that's what I'm finding serving me. Day 3 call, guess what? Same stinking thing. Quick systems check. How you feeling? What's for dinner? Are you starting to notice you're feeling differently? Are people noticing that you're kind of hangry, or are they noticing that you feel amazing? What are people saying at work? Because people are noticing. And I'm already starting to kind of ask them about what people are noticing and how they're feeling. Did I get you there, Brad?
Yeah, I think you covered it. Like super key connecting for the first few days. Those are awesome. The text assists with that. So what we want to show you next is like what the text look like so you can see them. A lot of you are very familiar with them. On what you would send before these calls that Allison did that were so key. Short and sweet, and for the first few days. So the day 1 text gives them a small virtual video. You can see in the bottom right-hand corner, it's Sam Prestonbach, and it just gives them a little touch in the morning, and it gives them some encouragement. Also gives them the Optavia guide. The day 2 text they fire off in the morning, it's just welcoming them to their journey. Jamil's giving them some tips for success. It's also covering like if they get tired or if they like want to know about their snack. It's just a little tip, just a little added value. It's pre-done for you. Day number 3 helps them stay focused that their fat burning is right around the corner, which sets them up for the fat burning call. So like the day 4 text lets them know they're in fat burning, so they're being guided with all the information. So that sets you up for the most important connection, Allison, which is the day 4 connection. Like as you're calling them each day for this first 4 days, and that's the difference maker. So what do you cover with people on day 4 that's the difference maker when they hit fat burning?
So yeah, usually most people by day 4 are in fat burn. And if they aren't, then we would just do another systems check. And hopefully that's clear to everyone. But for the most part, 80% of people, 90% of people are in fat burn. And what I'm doing is I'm really focusing on the positive and how amazing they feel. Oh my God, who do you want to share this with? Don't you feel so awesome? I remember when I first got into fat burn, I could not yell it from the rooftops to everyone. So that's what I'm doing. And the other thing I'm doing is I'm posturing. Who's the first person you're going to share this with? I just automatically assume, yes, they're going to share this. So who's the first person? Just make it a matter of fact thing, not do you want to share it? Who are you going to share this with, y'all? So that's what I'm doing. And then the other thing is in day 4, when they get into fat burn, I'm helping them set up what we call a celebration call, otherwise known as the integration call. And so I'm saying that is awesome. I can't wait to introduce you to my partner, Dom. And just so you guys know, work with your support team on this. We don't do celebration calls for absolutely everyone. You kind of get to pick and choose, because can you imagine if we had to do celebration calls with absolutely everyone? I mean, it'd be fun, but we want to kind of pick and choose who we're spending that time with. But I'm setting that up, and it's not a big deal. It's just, oh my gosh, I can't wait to introduce you to my my friend Dawn. We're going to offer you some tips to help you stay in fat burn. How does that sound? We're just going to do a super quick video chat. I'm going to send you a link, and you're just going to pop on. And again, I've built trust. It's going to be short and sweet. I'm going to add value to them, and we're going to add, give them some tips. So of course they want to get on. And then we're going to do that call together. Did I cover that well, Brad? Anything else?
Yeah, I'll break that down, because what's cool is, you guys, and you know what we're going to do today, I just wanted to make a decision here on this, is one, because I want to make sure I frame where we're at in this call for all you guys. Because if you recall, we have people that are very consistent, like running strong businesses, and we're just practicing constantly. We have some people that are brand new that are getting their feet underneath them. Can I get a 1 in the chat if this is giving you clarity on the difference of integrating clients path versus like chasing them down the line? Like, does this make sense how this changes the course and why it's so easy for Allison? Because we were going to cover the approaching coaching part today, but I'm going to save that for next week, because I want everyone to get these basics down. Yeah, perfect. Everyone said, Jan, seems so natural. I love that. So what Allison is doing here is she's got a structure. Doesn't matter how much her kids are behind her, pulling or tugging on her. Because I think last time your son jumped on your back.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he was naked.
Yeah, that's how Witten normally rolls. But when you set up your client well on their pre-call, when you send the text that lay the foundation, when you stay connected with them the first few days, did you notice how Allison kept leading back to the resources? That's creating an integrated client. Because I see questions in here like, what if they don't answer your phone? Like, what if they don't do this? I want to say this one thing. I mean, you're going to have people once in a while that do that. But if you're following these steps, if you're giving exact clarity like Allison was talking about, your results will go through the roof of integrating your clients, and it just gets easier. Let me, just so the people that are newer on here, can I get a 2 in the chat if you started implementing this stuff and you saw a radical change in how your clients started reacting to you? There we go. So let's finish off. I want to finish off the first 8-day text, and that's where we'll finish up. And then we'll come back next week so that we can practice that, and we'll really work on how you support your clients well during their first month, and then what you do with that 1-week celebration call. So fat burning is key because that's their first goal. And I love that because I also get to explain fat burning to them a little bit more. I don't go into the detailed science like you were talking about, microbiology major, Allison, but they need to know that it's an actual state of the body. It's not just low calories. They can throw themselves out of it. And that's a choice because we're practicing health. But I want them to know the risk and the rewards and the choices that go along with it because we're creating health. So day 5, this is what's cool about it. It just continues along the path. So Brian is sharing people about community and just supporting in all the components and how it's one of the most vital pieces. So again, we're layering the community. Again, people are asking questions like, what if your clients don't text you back? How many times have you put it in the text that it's vitally important to them? So it's gonna help them assist with that. Day 6, it's reminding them that their week is almost complete. This one is key. Because after you set them up for success well, and after you called them for the first 4 days and got into fat burning, Most important thing about that is moving them to a weekly connection afterwards. That's why we have a client check-in day. This text tees it up for you. You just enter in your client check-in day to let them know what day you're going to be touching base. It's another reminder. Then day 7, just another quick tip. And then day 8 is so key because it's teaching them what they need from you to coach them. It reminds them to put their stats in the message to share with you what they accomplished. It encourages them to take a before picture and progress picture and send it. By the way, guys, dripping coaching, that's so key. Did anyone do a progress picture after their first week or their first little bit and see that difference? It's incredible. So it's layering all the steps by that, leading you to that celebration call. So that's what happens.
Something on that, Brad?
Yeah.
I feel like the way that coaching businesses are built now, I swear they're built on progress pictures.
Yep.
I swear. And it's pushing me. I hate taking like selfies and crap like that. But guess what? That's what's building businesses. And I want to build a business. So I say crap like that because it's hard. But that's just me being real. But that's what it is based on. So encouraging them to do this is you're actually encouraging them for the foundation to build their coaching practice. That's what it's built on.
Yep, exactly. So that's it. Those are the texts. And after you just stay consistent for that first little bit, putting the time in the beginning creates so much better stable business and creates so much more integrated clients. So if you're in a spectrum of you're like, great, thanks for the review, I'm already doing that, then rock on. You guys know the benefits of it. If this was new to you, but you're doing the cornerstones of the first 4-day calls and then moving into a weekly celebration call, you're doing great. Just try adding these texts in. I think you'll notice a big gain in how it works, like Ashley did. Ashley, you were supporting your clients just fine before you started using these texts diligently, correct? And then you notice a major increase by doing them?
Yeah, I was doing it just fine. I thought, why change? Everything seems good. Once I implemented, everything even got better.
So if you're either in one of those two categories or you're in between like me where you were kind of doing but not consistent, there's the information so it can increase your level of support. This will lead us right into your first 1-week celebration call with your clients next week, which will be super key. And then we'll continue on from there and what we do to really drip coaching. So Dawn was going to wrap us up today with basically, what do you do during this time of the month that's so key on checking your business? You've heard the conversation about like a mid-month pulse check or checking your business in the middle of the month. Dawn, will you break down what is the difference maker you see in people's business and what to really look at this time of the month?
Heck yeah, Brad. I'm just so stoked. This morning's training's been amazing. So thank you, everyone. Let me share my screen really quick and we will kind of break down the mid-month pulse check. So all right, guys, for all of you who are brand new, this might be kind of new for you. This might be the first month or two that you're hearing about this. For those of you that are pros out there and have been doing this for a little while, I just want to give you all a high five and some congratulations because I have been seeing so many maps come through. Brad, I know you have too, just being texted over. Starting on, honestly, this month, you guys, I started getting them the 13th and the 14th, and it was so fun because February flies by. So what we're going to talk about is just kind of the mindset of what the pros are doing, what the people are doing whose businesses are growing. And this is kind of a no-brainer, it's a tell-all, basically. If you're doing this, your business is growing. And if you're not doing this, that's okay. This is definitely, not that it's okay. It's up to you. This isn't something that you have to do. It's something that those who want to grow and help more people choose to do. So we're just going to kind of go over some of the basics. But I know if you're on this call, you want your business to grow. You want to help more people. So obviously you're going to want to do this. So basically, do you have this in your schedule? So right now, everyone, grab your maps. I want to see them. Hold them up in the screen, you guys. Grab your maps. And I want you to assess it. What does it look like? Take a quick peek at your map, okay? Is it tattered? Is it used? Does it have coffee stains on it? Brad, I'll let you mute Dan. We got your back, Dan. Don't worry about it.
I'm mute him, but not letting him. Hey, you're unmuted, and I can't mute you.
It's all good. Anyways, guys, basically what I want to chat about is,
hold on a second, Don. I'm going to see if I can.
all right, let's mute. Dan,
Got it. All right, there we go. I got it.
Cool. All right. So first thing is, do you have this in your schedule? Like April talked about, like Allison talked about, the schedule is going to be your rock. And if you've got it in your schedule, it's going to be easy peasy. It's already there. Want to give a huge shout out. Christy Schuster, girl, you've got this in your schedule every single month. And I know when Brad went live the other day, you jumped in there. It is something that is just a rock. I get your map every single month. It's just awesome. No wonder your guys' business is growing. And same thing for a lot of people. So is it in your schedule? Grab it. Take a look at your map. This is not like a check mark, like a checkbox that you just fill out at the beginning of the month. This is a living, breathing document. And you guys, the more tattered your map is, I don't know if you can see mine, but I'll show it here in a second. It is highlighted. It is checked off. I've got like half the time my daughter Natalie gets a hold of it and she's colored on the back of it because I carry it around with me everywhere. It's in my purse. It's in my planner. I take it all over the place. It's usually like folded into a lot of different little pieces, but grab it, look at it. And here's the thing, where are you at right now? Right now. Don't go look right now this second, but as soon as we're off this call, if you haven't done this, grab 15 minutes and go look at where are you right now as of today. And then where did you declare you were going to be? What are your goals? What's going on the top of your map? How close are you to that? How many people's lives are you away from reaching that goal? And then, you know what, if you're newer, if you haven't done this, consistently, or you're just, you have questions, if you are running for executive director, or you're a fairly new executive director, if this is like your first, second, third month hitting executive director, or you're running for FIBC, you're going to want to grab your support team, shoot a text over to them, let them know. And lots of you have already done this. So again, like high five, congrats. But grab your support team and go over it. Just grab 15 minutes. It's a game changer. Trust me. It's like putting 15 minutes into a pulse check on your map this time of the month is going to save you so much time. And then repeat with your team as needed. Okay. So who's on your team? Where are they at? What do they need? I have a little tiny one joining me. Where are they at? What do they need? And how are you going to help them? So here is what the map looks like. All right, you guys, I'm just going to be real here. If your map is not the new one, if you don't have those little lines in the middle, if you're not using map 2.0, why not? Go print it out, go use it. I'm not going to lie. I've gotten some maps that are old ones. That's okay. But why not use the newest tool? It's amazing. And the reason it is because it leads everything towards identifying who those coaches are. So grab your map out. Going to go over just a couple fundamentals. And Brad, stop me if I miss anything, okay? Sometimes I get a little distracted, especially when a little 6-year-old walks in and talks. But grab it out. Look at the very bottom part. Where are you at right now? Where were you last month? And where are you projected to be this month? I'm going to show you how to pull these projection reports. A lot of you know how to do it. And if you don't, just grab your support team. They'll walk through it with you. We have videos on how to do it. But are you highlighting whose orders have already gone through? Are you inspecting what you expect this month? Do you know where your clients are? Every Monday before I do my client support, I go in, I pull my orders, I highlight whose has processed, and I write over in the column how much it processed for, because I want to know where my clients are. I want to know, are they set up for success? Are they moving forward in their goals? If they're on the 5-in-1, I know how much they need to be successful. If they're going on a trip, I know that, oh my gosh, they updated their order. Good, they're getting their bars for their Europe trip or whatever it is. You guys, it helps you know your clients better when you double check when their orders have processed and how much for, and it doesn't take that much more time. That's a step that's really easy to skip, but it's a really vital one that when I started doing it made a huge difference. Brad, probably, I'm surprised you still have hair because I'm not the most organized of people. And in the beginning, I really kind of bucked the system. I didn't want to take the time to really get detailed about this. But when I did, it was a game changer. So write down those orders, write down how much they are, add them up, write down who's left to process, and then pay attention to the map is an activity tracker. It's your pulse check of how you're doing. How are you doing so far with your actions? Look over there, those little boxes. This is my map, you guys. So I'm just gonna like put it all out there. This is my map. These are my activity trackers. There's some days I missed. I'm not happy about that, but I did. I made up for it probably the next day. But how are you doing on your actions? And then how's your top 10 coach client candidate list? Is that full? I hope so. And those little lines in the middle there where you can see every 5 clients, there's 2 little lines that you get to pull out. Those are your potential coach candidates. Do you have names written down there? You either do or you don't, and that's okay. But if you don't, I would highly suggest go and grab your map out, take a look at that. Because in every 5 clients you have, there is a coach candidate. And then up at the top, take a peek and where are your new coaches and how are they getting started? But basically, if this is kind of new to you, grab your support team. Take 15 minutes and go through it with them. I'm going to just kind of fly through this. So if it's new, obviously, you know, and I grab these from my phone, so they will look a little different if it's on your computer. But how do you pull your current orders? You go into Connect, into Client Support, click on Client Orders. They'll all come up. You can sort them so that they're in order, and then you can look and see how much their order was for. It's really simple. It takes 30 seconds to a minute to find all this. And then I just write it down. And I update it every Monday because it takes less time to do that. And then you can pull your projected, okay? And for those of you who have team members, I do this for my team. This time of the month, I want to know where they're at. They do it themselves and send it over to me because it's part of on their mid-month check and on their map. But I just want to know, where are they at? How are they doing towards their goals? So you go under client support and then you just click the next one down, which is projected Premier. And you can sort by your ID. It's very easy. They'll all pull up. And then you can also sort by ascending so you can get them in order. And here's the thing just to remember here. It's really simple. You don't have to do like detailed math. Oh my gosh, I would not want to do detailed math. You just check and see who has any rewards balance. And you take the number and multiply it by 300. You just keep it simple. And you guys, it works out almost every single time. It's going to be your projected frontline volume if you do that. And then you can do that for your team. And I would say just take 10, 15 minutes to do this. It doesn't take very much time. So if this is new to you, grab your support team. They can walk you through it. Brad, I'm just going to wrap up. Pretty little bow, some action steps for right now. If you haven't, Brad, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say here as we wrap up, I'm sorry for going a couple minutes over today, but there's been amazing questions in the chat. And just to get a feel for you on here, before we hop off here, drop me a 1 in the chat if middle of the month check-in is a must or is a cornerstone of your business. All right. Big thinker, integrated regional, integrated national, executive director, biggest frontline volume. Okay. Second biggest frontline volume, global director. Okay. So that's what the people that do the best do. Like, it gives you so much clarity to know where you're at and where you want to go. So if you haven't done that yet, do it today. And if you have team members that are new, go grab them so you can help them do that. Good morning, Natalie. It's good to see you. Natalie's Don's daughter. So this is what to do this week, everyone. So we put on some things here to help you practice continuing supporting your clients. Well, check that out this week. Right now, if you haven't yet, grab your middle of the month, check out where you're going to be, and then assess where you're currently at today. How are your actions doing? You're getting into the rhythm. This is all practice. Allison, were you perfect from day one? Were you always this good, Allison? Now you're practicing. Adjust your actions to meet the goal. Biggest thing I would encourage you guys today, because that's what we've been doing a great job of, is continue your connections. We're on track for the most clients we've ever started as a group, which is fantastic to see. And you guys haven't even seen the results of your consistency yet. So we've worked on how to bring people into your funnel. Now we're working on the thing that's going to accelerate the integration of your clients and bring it to coaching. So next week, we'll practice this at a higher level. Keep it up and follow up. Have a great week, everyone. Keep up the great work. And I love seeing everyone learning these things and putting them into practice. You can tell it's changing your business. Talk to you all later. Thank you, Allison, Ashley, and Dawn for sharing. Great stuff today.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Fred.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for all your tips. It
Thanks,
was
you guys.
wonderful.
Thank you.
All right, have fun supporting your clients this week. Now you're leading them. It's going to be way more fun. Like you guys will see it.
Brad, are you posting a recap post after this and including the videos and the tools that were referenced?
Of course. So that's a good question. Thanks, Ashley. Actually, let me stop recording.